Testing, testing. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be going over some new Brian Laundrie sightings, old and new. We also got the feds. We have a story on the feds getting a newly purchased phone of Brian's since he's been back, and more updates on the Gabby Petito case. So, all right. The first video is, I believe, a video of a guy in a bar who saw Brian right before Gabby supposedly disappeared.
All over the map. John Walsh, host of In Pursuit, says he has tips showing Laundrie is hiding out in Mexico, or the Bahamas, or the Appalachian Trail. A new witness is coming forward to say he encountered Laundrie drinking alone at this Bullwinkle's restaurant in Montana on August 26th. A new witness is coming forward to say he encountered Laundrie drinking alone at this Bullwinkle's restaurant in Montana on August 26th, the night before Gabby was last seen alive.
It was almost like he was sulking or mad or in deep thought about something. I really didn't pay him that much attention until he spoke up. And then it was aggressive and made a comment about stupid Southerners.
Gabby's family said today they are relying on each other to get through this difficult time and say they will not rest until they get justice.
Crying like a little baby at the bar.
Or like he was sulking or mad or in deep thought about something. I really didn't pay him that much attention until he spoke up. And then it was aggressive and made a comment about stupid Southerners.
Gabby's family said today they are relying on each other to get through this difficult time and say they will not rest until they get justice.
All right. Brian's burner phone. And this was, what's it called? Reported by TMZ and Yahoo, so definitely more credible than Joseph Morris. Wait, what? Day he went missing. So he got a phone, not like when he first came back, but the day he goes missing. Like, that's already shady. Just shady as is. According to the Dirty Laundry's family attorney, Stephen Bertolini, he did purchase a new phone. He believes it's the one left behind. Oh, what? Does he have his old phone then? With like all the called evidence on it? I wonder. Sources connected to the manhunt for Laundrie tell TMZ FBI agents who recently visited an AT&T store in Northport, Florida, where Laundrie's parents live. True, true. And they have surveillance footage, so damn. Not only do they have him at that campground, they have him buying a phone the day he goes missing. These 30 long. There's something else, guys. Definitely something else.
So, Kim, anything new developing here today in the search for Brian?
Hey, Anna. Oh, what's up, R-Dubs from British Columbia? That's a long ways away.
Attorney, and he says that the FBI now has in their possession a phone that was purchased, and that same phone is the one that Brian has done talking with Brian Laundrie's family attorney. And he says that the FBI now has in their possession a phone that was purchased, and that same phone is the one that Brian left behind at the Laundrie household before he went into the Carlton Reserve. And I want to show you some video. The search of the Carlton Reserve is still on at this point in time.
That's not me.
Parents said he used to enter the Carlton Reserve. While the search for Brian is now being headed by the FBI, we saw Northport officers out assisting and helping, and the search has scaled back, but it remains in the 25,000-acre reserve, focused on lakes and ponds. We haven't had a press conference or heard from the FBI since the federal arrest warrant went out for Brian Laundrie last week. That was not for Gabby.
I got you with an update on the K9 that just went out there. So the canine units for dog, apparently. So, what's it called? Apparently, Dog hired some help.
Private K-9 unit heading out to Small Island off Florida, where Dog the Bounty Hunter got a tip about potential traces of Brian Laundrie. Investigators working with Duane Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman are honing in on portions of the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina as they continue.
Whoa, that was way off. But apparently Dog the Bounty Hunter hired canines. Why did I put Dog in canine? That's that. Search this.
At the island, this would be and could be a perfect spot for him to hide. Not too many people out here, but there's a lot of environmental things that we're gonna fight. So here we go. The search now is really on. The search has just begun.
Search has just begun, guys. Dog's heating up on this case. We'll see if he finds any new leads or gets any closer to catching him.
We are learning more about a trip Brian Laundrie's parents took recently to Fort DeSoto.
But let's check out the family. There was a family that claimed they camped right next to the dirty laundries, and in fact may have a picture of Brian on their phone as they were camping next to Brian. Check this video out.
Right next to the Laundrie family.
We had a call a little while ago from the news, Channel 7.
It started with a phone call from us.
We checked in on Monday, Labor Day.
And then came the phone call to her camping buddies.
Apparently, they were at the campground when we were there, and they were right next to us. Are you kidding?
Marcy Newsom and her husband, Kenny, started putting the pieces together.
This is next to us, and I see a red truck.
One photo at a time.
And that red truck was right there. I see a red truck.
So they have their truck? Wow. Truck on camera.
One photo at a time.
And that red truck was right there. We have a picture of it.
The couple and their friends are now looking back at their captured memories, wondering if this man.
You took a selfie of the four of us, and in the background, there's a guy walking across the field.
Could have been
Four of us. And in the background, there's a guy walking across the field.
Does that look like Brian to you guys? I mean, they were right next to his campground, so him walking back and forth between theirs and his wouldn't be like weird. It's probably pretty common down there. And it's the same weekend he was there, so.
It started with a phone call from
All
us.
started with Dog.
We checked in on Monday, Labor Day.
And then came the phone call to her camping buddies.
Apparently, they were at the campground when we were there, and they were right next to us. Are you kidding?
Marcy Newsom and her husband, Kenny, started putting the pieces together.
This is next to us, and I see a red truck.
One photo at a time.
And that red truck was right there. We have a picture of it.
All right,
The
guys,
couple
I got
and their
another question
friends
for you.
are now looking back at their captured memories, wondering if this man.
You took a selfie of the four of us, and in the background, there's a guy walking across the field.
Could have been Brian Laundrie.
They kept to themselves. They were there, and then they weren't.
Brian Laundrie's attorney says Brian, his mom, and his
Was that
dad
Brian
all arrived
Laundrie?
at the park on September 6th and left on September 7th.
Let me know
But
what
a
you guys
public
think.
records request from Pinellas County shows Roberta Laundrie, Brian's mom, checked out on the 8th. All of this was happening while Gabby Petito's family was worried sick, trying to get a hold of the Laundries, and wondering if this man.
You guys think
You took a
that
selfie
this
of
is
the
Brian?
four of us.
Let me know what you guys think. Get a good close look at this. Brian's supposedly only staying at one side away from them. They're two. He's number one. And they did spot his
And in the
father's red
background,
truck
there's a
there.
guy walking across the field.
Certainly like him.
Could have been
Oh.
Brian Laundrie.
They kept to themselves. They were there, and then they weren't.
100% of you think it's him in the chat, so I guess there's some
his dad all arrived at the park on September 6th and left on September 7th. But a public records request from Pinellas County shows Roberta Laundrie, Brian's mom, checked out on the 8th. All of this was happening while Gabby Petito's family was worried sick, trying to get a hold of the Laundries. And Gabby's parents say they never heard back.
Very strange. If somebody I knew was missing, I wouldn't be going camping.
Megan Myers, ABC 7.
Gabby Petito's family spoke today up in New York, thanking everyone for the support that they've gotten. They also shared some new tattoos. Her biological parents and her step-parents all got a tattoo together in Gabby's memory.
So dog finds something. Huh. And here's Brian Enton. I think he's like WLA, some form of news guy, confirming that they got surveillance video from the campground. So there's no, yeah, they turned it over to the FBI. He definitely was there without a doubt. What else does he have to say? Police are actually back at the Carlton Reserve, wasting their time and more millions. They have a helicopter up and have had boats in the way. Wow. Meanwhile, Dog the Bounty Hunter is at Fort DeSoto, and he has a private K9 team tracking, or a private K9 tracking team, several islands around. So let me bring up DeSoto Camp, because it did look like a place where you could paddle off to into other campgrounds and just hide out for. I mean, this is where he's mainly staying, I believe. But then I think Dog said he could easily have paddled to any of these islands. I'm not sure if he would really survive there. But great place to hide out at and then come back when you're not being looked for. I mean, I've never been there. No. Dog's down there checking it. This is a few days ago, but watch it.
Because I lost a daughter at about the same age, that's...
Check out.
The parents of Gabby Petito speak for the very first time tonight since Gabby's body was found 2 Sundays ago.
They're remaining tight-lipped about the investigation, but they say they have full confidence in the FBI.
And the search continues for Brian Laundrie locally with a new area of interest. It's Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County.
Like, look at this. Hold on here. Yeah, like, I'm not sure if
area of interest.
Yeah, you could easily at least paddle somewhere other than the campground.
It's Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County. You can see Action Air 1 was overhead today.
And that's where we find our Heather Lee live for us tonight. Heather, why is the investigation turning to this park more than 60 miles away from their previous search area and a completely different county?
Well, Jameson, it's because we were able to confirm that Roberta Laundrie, Brian's mother, did check in to this Fort DeSoto Park between September 6th and September 8th. You can see her name right here on this Pinellas County Parks Fort DeSoto Campground check-in report. And while we do not know officially if Brian or even her husband was with her, their lawyer confirms all three of them did go on this trip together and that Brian came home with them after that trip. Now, here's video again. Action Air 1 took just above Fort DeSoto this morning. We flew out here to see if there was any police activity, and we did not see anything. We've reached out to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for video surveillance at the entrances and exits of the park during the same dates that would show people coming and going. But we were told those videos are part of an active investigation with Northport PD and the FBI. We also found a chopper owned by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office was circling the Fort DeSoto Park last night between 11:40 p.m. until 12:40 this morning. When we asked what they were doing, they told us it's part of an active investigation and to reach out to Northport PD and the FBI. Now, we do want to remind you, Brian's parents are not considered suspects and have not been charged with anything. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Gabby Petito Park Lounge, part of an active
Pretty sure they just said that the helicopters that they were flying over was part of an
came
investigation.
home with them after that trip. Now here's video again. Action Air 1 took just above Fort DeSoto this morning. We flew out here to see if there was any police activity, and we did not see anything. We've reached out to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for video surveillance at the entrances and exits of the park during the same dates that would show people coming and going. But we were told those videos are part of an active investigation with Northport PD and the FBI. We also found a chopper owned by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office was circling the Fort DeSoto Park last night between 11:40 p.m. until 12:40 this morning. When we asked what they were doing, they told us it's part of an active investigation and to reach out to Northport PD and the FBI. Now, we do want to remind you, Brian's parents are not considered suspects and have not been charged with anything. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Gabby Petito's family held a press conference this afternoon to announce the Gabby Petito Foundation to provide resources and guidance to other families searching for their children and how they think the FBI is doing in this case.
The parents are 100% happy with the FBI.
Hey guys,
They've been
don't
with
forget
us
to
at
leave a
every
like and sub on
single
my page.
step
I
of the way.
appreciate every single
And
one of you watching.
we know that they will bring justice for Gabby.
Now, we have been trying to reach out to the FBI as well to confirm a lot of the information we just told you. And every time we reach out to the FBI, they are continuing to tell us to check their Twitter account for any updates. For now, we're live. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.
This guy has a better chance of finding Brian before the FBI does.
Speaking together for the first time.
Steve makes a comeback. But they did say check their Twitter account, so I guess we've got to check their Twitter account. FBI. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. FBI Brian. People. FBI. I have so many. No. And no updates. So it looks like Dog's doing a better job than that guy right now. But I'm pretty sure I just got a special request to look into another missing person. And I did this one of my other streams. Miya Marcano. She went missing this past weekend. Yeah.
You're back. Your mom, your dad, grandparents, your stepmom
has been entered into apartment, obviously.
It's definitely a sign of foul play with one of her co-workers, I think it appeared like. But here's Miya Marcano.
So
19-year-old missing girl.
Our detectives and deputies have been working around the clock on this case, or we're pouring a lot of resources into finding Miya. And again, they had developed Armando Manuel Caballero as a person of interest and had actually issued a warrant for him for burglary, since he had accessed Mia's apartment, obviously without her permission, and not for any purpose or work order purpose. So, you know, her information has been entered into the system, you know, as missing. This time we'll take a few questions.
Damn. Well, you know, let's figure out what happened.
This morning, we are getting some new perspective into the mystery of a missing mother from Chula Vista.
And this comes as a search.
I agree with you, Anna. Dog definitely does have more updates from the FBI.
Quite a few things planned for this weekend to try to find some answers. News 8's Chris Groh joining us live from Chula Vista with new audio as well that you've received. Good morning, Chris.
We're going to start with that disturbing audio in what sounds like gunshots, loud bangs heard on a surveillance system in the neighborhood where Miya lived. And so, look, we want to be completely transparent here. You're going to hear the audio, but we are keeping the video out of this because it potentially could identify who that neighbor is, and we want to protect their identity. But again, take a listen to this disturbing noise. And
you can hear their chilling, really, on that night that Miya was last seen. 5 loud bangs, followed 10 seconds later by a final bang. Now, it's not only the same night Miya was last seen when she went missing, but also the same night her husband Larry reportedly had a fight with Miya. It was the last time anybody heard from the missing 39-year-old. Chula Vista police have
Oh,
had
I'm completely on the wrong person here. I did not. Hold on here. This is the 19-year-old that's missing. This is completely a different case. This is. Sorry about that. I completely apologize to everyone.
So that initial interview is with responding deputies at the scene, and he was the maintenance worker, just at that time appearing to try to provide some basic information, and didn't appear that he was a suspect at that time. No, I would say it's definitely not a human trafficking situation. I think that it's a situation where someone had developed a romantic interest. Obviously, Miya was not interested in this time, so we're still trying to investigate all the circumstances behind this and what exactly happened regarding her disappearance. So there were a few items that were found in the apartment that are considered to be suspicious. Again, that's all part of the investigation. That's why we've been working on this case, all weekend long to help find Miya.
Name. Oh, look,
investigators found Caballero in Seminole County, about 20 miles from where Miya was last seen. News 6's Eric Von Anken is there tonight outside the Camden Club Apartments. That's along Sable Lake Drive with more. Eric?
And Lisa, deputies have now cleared out this scene. We saw the medical examiner leave here a little while ago, along with the tow truck with Armando Caballero's car. Take a look. We were here as that wrecker drove right by us with the missing Ford Focus. It's a silver Ford Focus that detectives have been searching for the last couple of days because it's not just Caballero's car that was found here. They believe it could hold some clues to finding Miya. Neighbors tell us it was a worker here at this apartment complex that found the body of Caballero. Detectives tell us that they say it's quite clear he committed suicide. Neighbors say that once detectives got here after that 911 call was made, bringing them here, notifying them of the body, that they surrounded what appeared to be a storage unit. They taped it off and they inspected it quite intently.
And shortly after the police came, taped everything off. They kept it pretty quarantined off. They wouldn't allow the door to open all the way when they were going in and out, things like that. And then the investigation just kind of continued after there.
And detectives tell us one of the reasons they were looking for Caballero over the last couple days is because they say that they had a warrant out for his arrest because he had gone into Miya's apartment using only what he had as a maintenance worker, a master key that was issued to him. So again, the car was towed from here. It's right now at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and detectives, we're told, are picking that car apart. For now, we're live in the Longwood area. Eric Von Aken getting results, News 6.
Eric, thank you. Our coverage on this case continues right.
Seems like some creep just couldn't take no for an answer and stalked her. Well, waited for her in her room till she got back from work and then...
This is new video of a man Miya Marcano's family believes is her maintenance man, carrying her stuff away the day after she went missing and 2 days before he turned up dead. This crucial evidence could directly connect him to her disappearance.
Miya's family not giving up hope that she is still out there. Today, they gathered outside of her apartment complex along University Boulevard in Orange County to search for clues. Fox 35's Dave Puglisi joins us live. So, Dave, this new video we just saw could be a big clue that they've been looking for.
It definitely could be. And maybe more clues here inside Arden Villas, which has been the scene of the longest search here throughout the day by law enforcement. And that is still going on right now. The family still hopeful that they'll find her following every potential lead.
in his front, the passenger side.
New video shows a man who appears to match a description of Armando Caballero getting out of a car that matches the description from police of Armando's.
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
The man is seen carrying a blanket and a bag heading into a building. The blanket, families say, is Mia's.
Think of yourself if you were in our shoes. If you saw that video and you saw Mia's blanket, how would you react?
Mia's family says this video was shot the same morning Simone had a chilling encounter with Caballero.
He said, "Are you looking for Miya?" I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me."
The search for the 19-year-old is intensifying as large numbers of investigators arrive at Arden Villas. Residents even received this email about a search of their garages and storage units. One resident tells Fox 35 she had to move her car this morning to accommodate.
It's been hectic. It's been scary. Everything that we've been seeing here just shows that we're not truly safe here.
Mia's family says they've been receiving numerous tips from the community and law enforcement. They have searched several locations, including wooded and swampy areas, and they're not giving up.
Today's that day where we got up upset. There hasn't been much crying at this point. We're just ready to bring her home, but we need everyone's help.
And you can be a part of that help. The family has started an Instagram page to keep you updated on the latest updates and investigations and searches done by them. And you can find that on Instagram at Bring Miya Home. And again, any information that you have that could lead to finding Miya is more important than ever before. You should be giving that to police as soon as you possibly can. In Orlando, Dave Puglisi, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Dave. And Mia's family also tells us that they think that she was kidnapped and more people are involved. But investigators say they don't think that is the case.
As her family searches that apartment complex for answers, people who live there are concerned, some going as far as blaming the complex for Mia's disappearance. Fox 35's Holly Bristow reached out to the property manager. So, Holly, did they get back to you?
Background check. Like
Well, what we have right now is a statement that Arden Villas released to us yesterday saying that they were improving some of their security procedures.
I'm praying that she's coming home. I have a hope that she's still out there.
Mia Ross, a neighbor of Miya Marcano, gets emotional talking about the missing 19-year-old. She's spooked, not knowing what happened. So is Hannah Holmes.
It makes me feel unsafe as a resident.
This big green poster reads, Arden Villas, it's your responsibility to keep your residents and staff safe. We hold you accountable. Now sits in the middle of candles left for Miya Marcano. Copies of this flyer blaming the company that owns the complex is being posted all around the community, too. Just yesterday, Arden Villas Apartments manager sent out a memo talking about proactive measures to enhance their safety protocols, saying they've repositioned a guard to the front gate to document all residents and guests leaving the property. These women saying they haven't seen that yet.
I think that the gate stays open for about 5 cars to go through, so even sometimes it doesn't even make sense for me to scan my key fob.
Fox 35 News did not see a guard at the gate today, but there was a guard present during our live shots last night. Deputies said the person of interest in Mia's disappearance, maintenance man Armando Caballero, had used a key fob to enter Mia's apartment Friday, 30 minutes before she got home from work. Arden Villas says they've upgraded their maintenance procedures to allow for appointment-only booking.
It's definitely something that should have been done way beforehand.
Hannah Holmes says she's had some unexpected encounters with maintenance.
But most of the time I've had them knock like once and then just let themselves in.
Street Creeper.
Y'all, this is breaking. It's just coming.
Nope. Nah. Got the Sarasota County Sheriff Police Scanner. These are just watch what they could fill out. Typically posts every day about this stuff.
Out here.
Scott has way better stuff.
Hey, what's up? It's Ticket Mel. Gonna do a little audio and video test, making sure it's doing the same thing as last time. And one of the things that was recently posted, his daughter says just about 20 minutes ago, Dad has a team on scene, including law enforcement. He is on the hunt. Now, you guys may have missed it or not, but this morning there was this family. I posted a video. By the way, stream.
They were. Are you kidding? Fort Myers family found out they were camping right next to the Laundrie family days after Gabby Petito disappeared. Tonight, you're hearing their reaction and seeing photos of their vacation only on NBC2. The family was staying at this campsite on the right, while the Laundries camped just yards away. Thanks for counting on NBC2.
Let me know what you guys think about these situations. Was there something they could have done to prevent the Maya situation?
County records show the Laundrie family booked a campsite there on September 6th.
Or
Mary Newsom and her family arrived the exact same day. Only NBC2's Megan Myers is talking to the family about what they saw.
This is the camper the Fort Myers couple was staying in at Fort DeSoto Park. According to county documents, they were staying right next to the Laundrie family.
We had a call a little while ago from the news.
It started with a phone call from us.
We checked in on Monday, Labor Day.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible they did, but I don't know. I feel
They
like
haven't
maybe
said anything. I mean, as much as they're showing us, yes, we're out here doing this on foot and giving us these little tours, surely they would have thrown us a soundbite about DeSoto Park.
I think so too.
But
I don't know.
It's
And
wild,
it's led to other
but-
people coming forward, and it's led to not only the video clip we saw this morning, but as well as this person on Reddit saying they have video, they have drone footage, all this. They haven't posted it. They gave it straight to the FBI, this person's family. So there's people coming forward too because of that.
Now, to
You know?
clarify, because I was confused. The person on Reddit is not the family we saw on the news this morning, right?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
What's the bounty at for Brian?
So I'm thinking maybe they were on the other side of the Laundries, you know?
Right, like the number 14 spot or whatever, the opposite of where they
I'm
were.
thinking so, yeah. And if they have all that video, I mean, that could be crucial. People are requesting, asking, but, you know, the person saying, that's just my parents. I didn't go with them. I'm just telling you what happened.
Well, and I mean, and look at the treatment everybody else who's just trying to do the right thing and coming forward.
Oh,
is
yeah.
getting.
They're getting annihilated. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't blame them for wanting to keep that little bit of anonymity that they can, because surely, if in fact that their evidence that they provide does come to some
guys leave a
fruition,
like
in
and
the
sub.
long run, they'll probably have to go to trial, and that'll blow that
And
out
tune
of the
in
water.
later
But,
tonight. I'll be doing
I mean, the way
actual
people are
regular
so quick
news
to attack people
for a
who are
change.
just seemingly trying to help.
Hope
we do have
hope
the
to see you all there.
The guy at the bar in Montana, I'm a little.
You don't
iffy on
believe, you're
him.
not buying it? Yeah.
I'm not. I mean,
and from the 6th to the 8th. He has said that for the past 3 days. And the receipt does show it, but it kind of got smudged. And they showed that on Chad Prather. Dog the Bounty Hunter, if it wasn't for him, I don't think we'd be anywhere with what's going on with this man and the young lady that's gone. God bless her. You know what I'm saying? And everybody needs to realize the man is serious. He's not out for the money. He's donating it to the family and to the people that are giving him information.
That's great of Dog.
He's paying them, which the FBI and all of them won't do that. And that's what he said on Chad. And it was last night. So you might want to see it and listen to it. And if you want to see the
Chad
receipts and
Prather?
all that stuff, yeah, Chad Prather. Yes.
Okay.
And I had to say that because I'm listening to everybody, and they're kind of like misinformed. And the woman that said that, you know, that the receipt didn't show, it does show what she said, but it shows the 8th. He's got the receipt, and he's had it. And he's been on this from day one, and they've got something else coming up. So I want you to be prepared. You might look at Chad.
For sure.
And there's another guy on here. I can't think of his name. I'd like to tell you, but he's going to be doing a live segment with him too. And I don't know the man's name. I mean, it pops up on my YouTube thing. But pay attention to Chad, because Chad
Tune in here
talked to
for
him
real
one-on-one, and they
Is
were
that
on
what
the
that
phone
is? Is that like an
probably
interview?
Yeah, it was the live interview last night.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know
Chad
about that.
Prather with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and please
Okay.
pull it up, watch it, show
What
it,
happens
share it
with
with
the original
everybody.
phone? That's what
Let
my
them
question is. The Feds say they've got a phone of Brian's, and it appears to be the new phone he bought the day he went missing. So, Feds are on the hunt for it. Connected to the manhunt for Laundrie, tell TMZ FBI agents recently visited an AT&T store in Northport, Florida, where Laundrie's parents live, and seized surveillance footage. So, do they have both phones, or do they only have the new phone with nothing on it? Was that like a good, I guess it's called replacement to like, I guess, throw them off with? TMZ's reporting this, so it has to be. Or more. Are we supposed to do anything if we don't know what's credible and what's not?
I could show it here, but I'll put the link in the description because I don't know. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description so people can check it out.
You're not going to see Mr. Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Chapman.
Oh, it's just
but
like
you're going to hear he's
right,
live.
Right.
He's live
Okay.
with Chad, interviewing him over the phone.
Okay.
And but he did send him the emails and stuff.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anyhow, I wanted to say that, and God bless you, and keep
God
your
bless
show
you
up.
too.
We love it.
Thank you.
Like camp out stuff. He actually made a new review of these campsites 12 for count. I wonder if he has one of the one Brian stayed in. Oh yeah, he does. Campsites 1.
On this episode of Camp Outside, we take a look at sites 1, 3, 5, 10, and 11.
September 20th.
Indiana Dunes State Park. Check it out.
Oh, it's Indiana Dunes State Park. I'm tripping, bro. I thought it was just all DeSoto. Completely off. But then he has this.
Hi
There you
guys,
go.
my name is Kevin Kemp, and I own Camp Outside. Camp Outside is a YouTube effort to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. To that end, we've shot campground and campsite reviews all across the United States, and one of our favorite places to go camping is Fort DeSoto Park. My YouTube analytics for my videos at Fort DeSoto Park started to explode last night around 9 o'clock, and I wasn't sure why, so I turned on the news and saw that Dog the Bounty Hunter was at Fort DeSoto looking for Brian Laundrie. As you can imagine, with all the views that I've had in the last 24 hours, I've received tons of messages on Twitter and my other social media on reviewing my archive footage to see if I've caught images of Brian, his family, or their camping gear at Fort DeSoto Park. Unfortunately, all the footage I shot at Fort DeSoto Park was shot months ago, long before Gabby even passed away. If there was anything I could do to help law enforcement bring Brian to justice or bring closure to Gabby's friends and family, I would absolutely do that. But I don't think that my footage will help in this case since it was shot long before Gabby passed away. I want to thank everyone for their concern for Gabby and her family. I want to thank everyone for reaching out to me and requesting that I review my footage. As I said, unfortunately, I don't think I can help in this case. If law enforcement were to reach out to me for any reason, of course, I would cooperate. But again, I don't think I can help. So thank you for your concern for Gabby. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for watching my videos. And if there's anything I can do to
And this is, I guess, the video from a year ago.
slides and things like that.
He's talking about.
It has a large playground set for bigger kids, and then some smaller equipment.
Playgrounds. Restroom. Campgrounds.
Two in Area 3. The restrooms are either, there's two types of restrooms. One is a smaller restroom set, and one is larger. This is the smaller one.
I want to see what camping is like there. Is it survivable if, like, you're just hiding out there?
Walk along the water for most of the way around the loop. I suppose I shouldn't call it a loop though, as it's really just one way. You'll often see the parade of dogs walk past in the morning and in the evenings. As we walk along the water, you can see the camp store in the distance.
Chat here, but
it's surprisingly well stocked and also serves as a snack bar.
The parents turn them in.
Let's continue walking along the sites. You can just barely see our site from here, off in the distance.
Carlson Reserve search, because that's the biggest baloney I've ever seen.
The playground looks quite nice if you have kids. It wasn't very busy while we were here. I suspect that everyone's still at the beach or touring the fort.
for knowing
Believe it or
where their
not,
son was
people
at, and not
actually
saying
camp here
anything
with
sooner.
tents. I don't think I can go back to that after getting an RV though. I'd miss my air conditioning and hot shower too much. The interior campsites are as big or bigger than the waterfront sites. They are quite nice and I'd have no problem staying at any one of them. That said, get the waterfront. If you want to stay here with a larger RV, you'll want to be pretty particular about what site you get. Our travel trailer is 22 feet long and it was still a little bit tricky backing in. Let's head back to our site. It's time to watch the sunset and light up the fire pit we rented from the camp store.
You can rent things there too, like it's not.
The sun is setting and the fire pit is lit. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
Just as of right now, all we know is that Brian
Good morning.
got a new phone.
Let's get this day started by heading down.
I don't know about the parents, but I mean, you want to talk to your kid on a different number that the FBI can't track. All of them get a new phone.
The FBI has a new focus in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Laundrie family attorney confirmed to us that the FBI is checking into a new phone that Brian bought before going MIA. The attorney confirmed Brian left it at the home the day he went for a hike in the preserve. Now, the attorney wouldn't confirm when Brian bought that new phone, but he believes it was purchased this month, and the FBI does now have it in their possession. Last week, police told us they still couldn't find Gabby's phone as they continue to try and figure out how she died. Tributes for Gabby continue across town. This is a live look right now at a memorial outside Northport City Hall, where local high school ROTC cadets are expected to perform tonight in Gabby's honor.
They didn't find her phone on
flowers,
her,
the balloons,
nor did they
signs.
find
It's been
her
growing
phone,
for weeks.
I guess, in her
There is
camper.
still so much we hope to find out about Gabby and Brian, including how Brian Laundrie was able to leave his house and go for a hike amid this investigation.
Right.
Gabby was reported missing on September 11th. Brian returned from their trip on September 1st. Here's what police said during a press conference on September 16th.
You said you knew where Brian is. Is he at his parents' house?
All I'm going to say is I know where Brian's at.
Now, the very next day, Brian's parents reported him missing, saying that they hadn't seen him in days.
It's very interesting they can't find her phone and that he got a new phone.
Well, it's been almost a week.
I like how he said, yeah, we definitely do. We gotta go back to that here. All I'm going to say
The FBI
is,
has a
we
new
know
focus
where Brian is. What the fuck? And yeah, just go to the watches. And here. Pretty sure it's this video then.
Well, it's been almost a week since the FBI last updated us on the Gabby Petito.
That was just for watching. Sorry about that. So, what's the new timeline here? So, since September 1st, Brian gets back, almost goes on a camping trip, according to Dog, on the 1st to the 3rd, but that one was canceled apparently. And then do this again.
We're down here in Florida in Fort DeSoto. It's almost dark. So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th.
I mean, a burner phone is just a phone you buy to lose, and he kind of did just buy it and then leave it at home. Even though it was no use, I guess.
Did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th. 3 people came in.
What if he took his
on
old
the
phone
6th,
thinking it was his new phone?
and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure. So there's a lot of little islands around the area where we're at that he could get to on a canoe. We talked to the caretakers today of the islands. They said he could be out here, that he was here.
Tonight, the FBI is now in charge of the search for Brian Laundrie in the Carlton Reserve. We've learned search teams have been scaled back and are now more focused on a specific part of the park. Thanks for joining us for Fox 4 News at 10. I'm Jane Monreal. Patrick is off tonight. Fox 4's Rob Manch out live at the Carlton Reserve tonight. And Rob, the wet conditions also adding to a difficult search, huh?
Yeah, Jane, so this is the entrance to the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, and I want to step out of the way so you can get a look. This is the path into the forest, and you can see how drenched with water it is right now. So this connects to the Carlton Reserve, which is where crews have been searching for the past 10 days. But we've learned they might have to wait for some of this water to go down before they can access some parts of the park to continue their search for Brian Laundrie.
Hey guys, I got a guest speaker today who's going to be taking over for me. Her name's Anna, and yeah, I gotta go, but she'll be keeping you guys updated, and yeah, here's Anna.
Hello.
It's been 10 days of slogging through the swamp for search crews, all with no results in the search for Brian Laundrie. Over the weekend, Northport Police gave control of the investigation to the FBI. Public Information Officer Josh Taylor saying the search will, quote, be scaled back and targeted based on intelligence. Hopefully, water will lower in areas hard to currently access. But as crews continue to work, the public is getting frustrated.
I think, yeah, they're wasting their time.
Bailey Hansen says she just had a kid of her own and feels for Gabby's parents. She's been following the case and, like many, believes there's nothing in these woods for investigators to find.
Maybe a gator got him and ate him completely and he's just gone forever. I don't know. But
if he's in the Everglades, he's dead.
But on Sunday, the FBI showed its investigation wasn't just limited to the park. Agents searched the Laundrie home again, collecting evidence the family attorney says might have Laundrie's DNA on it. Hansen says she supports the efforts by law enforcement, but is anxious for the case to come to a resolution.
Somebody knows something and they need to speak up, and
he took a SIM card and a new phone for his old phone.
She deserves justice.
That's actually really smart. This man might actually be like a better criminal than we give him credit for.
And just a few hours ago, we learned from the attorney for the Petito family that there will be a press conference tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock in New York. We hope to learn more information about the case from that. And we also have learned that crews will be right back out in these woods tomorrow morning searching for Brian Laundrie. We're live in Sarasota County tonight. Rob Manch, Fox 4.
Okay, what else should we watch? Chris, I feel like he's not constantly keeping cover though. Because if you within the DeSoto campground, it's not that populated. If he's in the Everglades. Brian Laundrie. Outdoorsman. Where was the interview with his friend? Oh, absolutely, Paul. That was from a week ago.
A friend and former co-worker of the couple says that the two were always smiling and seemed really excited to go on this trip. So when she learned Petito vanished, she couldn't help but cry.
Absolutely his comeback. Let's look up Shell Island. Honestly, like it's insane. Shell Island, Florida. That's in Panama City, though. Parents deny involvement. That's the biggest lie I've ever
The memorial
heard.
here continues to grow as people continue to visit and add items to this display. As the search at the Carlton Reserve scales back, investigators are working to find Brian Laundrie and answer questions so many want.
We've seen from the beginning this is a very difficult case.
A difficult case that has yet to be solved. Investigators say Gabby Petito died as a result of a homicide, but how that happened is still being determined.
It's because of time lapse. It's a difficult case because of geography. It's a difficult case because of locations and multiple crime scenes.
Peter Massey is the program coordinator for the Forensic Study and Justice Program at USF St. Petersburg. He says making that determination could take time.
Unless we can find some sort of telltale markings on her body, it may be difficult to determine that cause of death.
Brian Laundrie, her fiance, remains missing, with an arrest warrant waiting for him for bank fraud. Sunday afternoon, FBI agents were back at Laundrie's home in Northport, collecting items that belong to him for DNA matching. Massey says it's a tool that will help locate Laundrie, but not necessarily aid the homicide investigation.
Should they find remains?
Oh, that his mother
they're going
checked
to need to find something that they can use to compare it with. On the other hand, DNA is not going to benefit us.
So I saw that his parents had dropped something off on the front porch that had his DNA on it, just in case they found his body. But like, who even says that they'd give him the right DNA? Let's see, what's this one? I think this is
because I lost a daughter at about the same age.
one we've already seen before.
The parents feel like.
His mom checked a Florida park 75 miles north.
All of it's alleged that he even committed
That's
the murder.
such bull, though.
Circumstantially, it looks like he did. You know, the strongest lead I see is that
Give that dog credibility.
Friends said he had been in the Appalachian Mountains by himself for a couple months. Now, he's not just
Celebrating their anniversary at the campground, 3 spots from the Laundrie.
So, in order to do that, I think
no interaction with the family.
If there's anywhere right now that looks the hottest.
Is that the right one? 43 minutes ago. Summer Wells.
In an investigation, because we know that Brian lived in that house. Gabby was in that house. Brian and Gabby were in the van together.
As investigators continue to work, Massey says there's 2 items, pieces that we've known since the beginning, needed to solve the case.
How Gabby died, and then we need to obviously locate, if we can, Brian.
And Kelly, I want to read you a statement that the Laundrie family attorney just texted me as we were on our story. He says Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where
Summer
Brian.
Wells. What will everybody do if they catch him? They would. They probably if he has a new phone, they can definitely track him via the phone. I'm sure they're probably just not telling us everything that they know. But Summer Wells Wednesday night. Summer Wells is a different missing person. Yes, no, the FBI doesn't actually crack down and charge somebody until they can't, until they have everything lined up for them. Summer Wells is a different missing person. I think it's hilarious how the parents called the police that Dog the Bounty Hunter came up to their front door. Absolutely hilarious. I wish there was that 911 phone call. Brian's parents call cops. Yo, it could result in charges.
The swamps of the Carlton Reserve, intending to cover every one of the 25,000 gator and snake and like Noreen Gibbons. It was at her home in Oregon that Gabby and Brian planned to finish their cross-country trip.
It is hilarious, though. So were they about to stay in an Airbnb at her house?
I got from Gabby was she sent me her video, that
family
van
friend
video.
Noreen stopped by the vigil tonight in Gabby's honor on Long Island to feel closer to the young lady who was like a granddaughter to her.
What you see is what you get. She radiated light and life and love.
Police will resume their search for Brian at the Carlton Reserve on Saturday. They've already combed the entire Northport
If they
side
were
of the
worried
reserve,
that he would hurt
and
himself,
now
they'd be
much
out
of the
there
Venice
looking, but
side.
they're not out there
Still,
looking.
they
He's not
ask,
actually
where
missing.
is
He's
Brian?
hiding.
We're not wasting our time out here. We are doing our due diligence to find Brian.
They're not wasting their time at where the reserve? He's not at the reserve. I think everybody knows he's not at the reserve.
And an area that intelligence had led us that he could possibly be in.
He's not there. How much money did they spend? How much money did they spend on that reserve? He's not there. He's not at the reserve. He's like, that is the one place
You saw the vigil
in the country that I know he's not.
A weekend of mourning in Long Island.
He would have
Gabby's
been
funeral
dead.
has been scheduled for Sunday at noon.
He would hands down have been dead. Let's see. What it takes. Video of dog in the campsite 13 minutes ago. Oh, dog gave them an update. Let's look up Dog the Bounty Hunter. If I can spell. Dog the Bounty Hunter. 2 days ago, 1 day ago. Last hour. No, 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 no. I can't spell once again. My typing skills are subpar. Streamed 2 hours ago. Videos. Brian search FBI has surveillance. I believe this is the one. Let's see if we can.
In Pinellas County, and started making this big loop, crossing I-275, crossing over the entryway to Tampa Bay, and did go around Fort DeSoto.
Yeah, he wouldn't hide at the reserve.
But interesting of note here, it has continued
definitely
north.
Definitely DeSoto. He says he's an outdoorsman, but the difference is there's a big difference between the Appalachian Trail and the Everglades. You can survive in the Appalachian Trail. You cannot survive in the Everglades. No one remember that the entire reason the Seminole Nation never had to enter into an agreement with the U.S. government is because they went to the Everglades. It is incredibly hard to survive there.
And okay, so now turning around. This is
Yesterday, JB, just along the beach side. That is kind of the
dog
inner, I guess I'm gonna call it the channel side, with the waterfront beach camp areas where the campground areas where the Laundries had the reservation.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
it's like
owned
a long kind of U shape. You go down, JB, comes around, and it's like must be 2-3 miles of just beautiful sandy beaches.
Like Brian Laundrie. That's not like
but can you even have a bunker?
Cancun.
Isn't this public or state land?
That is just a wooded, wet, random tree
island. I
there.
think if they put as much effort into the reserve as they did to the campsite, they'd probably find something, because Dog found something in 3 days. 3 days.
Off of Fort DeSoto, and you wouldn't exactly want to live in that spot, but wouldn't it be a lot easier to see from the air using thermal imaging? Absolutely. If we hear anything about that, we'll of course pass that along here to you. Allison Johnson, #HeyJB. Why haven't the parents been charged at this point for withholding information? Two answers to this, Allison.
Yeah, only Crocodile
Dundee
could survive there. Seriously.
We don't know. We don't know.
Very
from
hard.
Everything that we have been told, and it started with Josh Taylor of Northport Police. They are
hiding at a campground. Like, this is an actual campground. Like, yes, it's kind of still in the middle of nowhere, but this is not like the wilderness. You see, like, there's open spots. It's not marsh right here. There's hookups. There's place to get water. This isn't the Everglades. Remember, like, also, like, you can't just drink unless you've got like special equipment. You can't just drink water from streams anymore.
Cooperating with Brian and it being a missing persons case, that they are cooperating with one.
He is not a missing person case. This is a fugitive case. They just don't call it that yet.
Enforcement. So why haven't the parents been charged? Well, right now they're cooperating in the missing persons case that is their son.
They're cooperating? They're cooperating? How on earth are they cooperating? I do think he has some electronics with him because his Spotify has been updating. Like, it shows that he's, like, added new songs. So either that or somebody else is using his accounts. Not to mention that video that, like, accidentally aired. There was, like, a claim that a video aired. But let's see. Brian Laundrie Spotify. Because that's why I thought that he had access to some sort of electronic. Yeah, see, he's still using, I mean, this was a couple days ago, but removed playlist after Twitter user spotted it. If you find, yeah, missing, it's definitely not a missing person, but see, on TikTok, I follow some of the, like, theories that people are throwing out on TikTok, and he removed a playlist. Like, as soon as people on TikTok found something, or somebody on, Twitter, or like any of social media that he had, as soon as he'd like see something, he'd change it. Like, there was this apparently a girl named Rebecca. Yeah, seriously, he's not doing it. Parents aren't helping at all. Honestly, true. And if anyone knows how to hack his accounts, hack his Spotify. People were even DMing him on Instagram and telling him to say things, or like trying to like FaceTime him, or on different social media platforms. But yeah, no, he was on his Spotify and he was removing her playlists, and then apparently he followed and then unfollowed this girl named Rebecca. Oh, it's not the video? My bad. I don't know which one then. We could look it up on Twitter though. But yeah, he followed and then unfollowed this girl named Rebecca once people on TikTok were commenting that he'd removed something. So I think he's either keeping it up to date, or his parents are keeping him up to date on just the whereabouts. But could you imagine spending, like, what is it now, like 10 days without any source of internet or entertainment? Like, he's supposed to be just out there in the wilderness. So, I mean, I guess unless you're going to bring a bunch of books, it's a lot easier to bring a phone. But then again, it's a lot easier to track a phone. Maybe. Let's look that up. Let's research that. Let's see. See, this is from Internet Sleuth, so this is not confirmed factual. But there was instances of him unfollowing and following people, but that also could have been him blocking and unblocking or people blocking him or unfollowing him, and then or being removed as a follower from him, which you can do on Instagram. His Instagram account unfollowed around 6 people. But once again, like I said, that could have been them unfollowing, like making themselves unfollow him or being removed from there. He removed a playlist. See, why would someone like hack his Spotify? It's confirmed the parents will go down. Yes, like I believe there was a case in California about a girl who I think she was killed on campus. It was in California. Let's see, girl. It was in like the 90s. Girl in 1990. Killed. Parents never spoke. The parents never spoke about it, and everyone. No. It was related. Boys. She was like reported. She was reported that she was like walking home with somebody. I don't remember, but if anyone knows the name of this case, the the girl was walking home, and she was walking home with this male friend, and then they like diverged. He said that they diverged paths, and she was found, I believe, like dead in the morning. And he was apparently the last person seen with her, similar to Brian, but his parents, his brother or his siblings, and his siblings' partners did not ever spill the beans, so no one was ever charged. Because to be honest, if you're ever convicted of a crime, any crime, you don't say anything. So like from a lawyer perspective, this is exactly what you want to do. As like a morality issue, no, don't do this. This is messed up. Especially if it was like your almost daughter-in-law who lived with you. I mean, it's essentially like their daughter. Yeah, they're quick to call the police on dog, but they never call the police on I mean, honestly, like the police should just like block them. Because could you imagine having to come out? Then no, that's just ridiculous. He could have a passion for bird watching, true. He's got to find some hobby to do. But I know he used to be reading books like Lullaby, which was kind of creepy. You know, he was really into serial killers, which is even worse. But it's crazy. So I do believe that he had, you know, like an interest in serial killers, especially serial killers who went around cross-country tips. And as far as we know, he's only related to Gabby. But it is really interesting. See, he's removed the playlist cover photo, which once again, as someone said, could be like Spotify doing it, but it's just a speculation. Photo of Gabby and the name Mellow Yellow. Oh, and then did you guys hear about the song he was listening to the way back? It was like My Lover's Like an Angel. That's the song, one of the songs he listened to on the way back. It's insane. Let's see. What are you all saying? Where is it confirmed that the parents will go down? Because I hope they will. No, dog really did change the whole game, because everyone was saying he wasn't in the swamp, or at least people online, but no one listened until dog said it. True, the longer you're away for things, like, you don't miss it as much, and he did say he liked the outdoors, so maybe, I'm not sure if you can share links, you could try, or maybe if you put spaces in it, if it doesn't let you share links, because I'd like to see what you're talking about. Thank you, Joshua. I'm sure you're right, Allison. Like, why would you buy one phone? I'm sure he has something, at least to communicate with his parents, because I do think someone's telling him where where they're looking for him. Dog looks like a biker gang member. Well, he definitely looks tough. Like, I wouldn't want to be Brian when he comes across me. That would be crazy. Let's see, Brian Laundrie Spotify. Let's see if we can go to his Spotify. He's been removed from playlist. Aw, the music, I feel like there were a lot of clues, especially because most of this was posted online. I do think he would, Joshua, at least just from like what I've seen, like that's my opinion. I do think he probably would. But once again, like we have to find out like why exactly did he kill her? Like this was obviously like an issue of like domestic abuse of some kind. But like why did he kill her? Did he snap? Was it premeditated? Did he get angry about things? I saw somewhere that the reason that they were having the argument when the police originally pulled them over is because she said she liked things neat and she wanted to clean the van, and he like didn't want to clean the van. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but and then that, because in the video of them being pulled over by the police, you can see the van is in a bunch of disarray. When it's usually really tidy. If you ever saw a picture of the inside of her van, it was always very aesthetically pleasing. Gabby Petito van. Yep, see the interior of the van. Chaotic and yep, see the chaotic interior, which is not how it was portrayed on her. Let's watch this.
Personal issues. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before.
See, she said she was cleaning and apologizing, but you might be right. Like, she possibly could have said, like, because remember the cop also talked to her and talked about how maybe it was a toxic relation for her and that maybe she should branch out, and when they like went back to Florida to separate herself from him, maybe it wasn't the relationship to be in. So maybe she said she was gonna leave. Maybe but apparently her family has also said she just liked things neat. And there was a claim that it was OCD, but she's not, wasn't. See, she says sometimes she has OCD, but I do not believe that it was like diagnosed OCD.
You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand, that's why I was pushing her away. Just because she wanted I like the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not, go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute.
You got 3 scratches on your neck. You got 1 on your left side of your neck.
It is interesting though, because the original 911 call talked about a man hitting a woman and how interested they see about the scratches on him versus the original call, because I do not believe she had any physical or obvious signs of like being hit or pulled or anything when they were being talked to by the police.
You got 1 in your face here, and you've got 4 that are bleeding over it. So I was just trying to. So it looks like 2 hands coming in. Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
Oh.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, Bo.
I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about
fingernails. Is it bruised or tender or anything like that?
He says, I'm not complaining right there. Like,
I'm curious about something.
He said, I'm not complaining. Like, he enjoyed her fighting back or something.
It's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about fingernails.
Is it bruised or tender or anything like that?
No, neither of them told the cops the real reason. I haven't heard any claim that she was pregnant. I haven't heard anything about that. Yes, although they were together for years, and I mean, have you ever like the inside of their van, which
I'm fine.
They're gonna show the inside of the van.
This is what tonight away from you.
She definitely looks like she covers for him in there. Like she says he didn't hit her, but in the 911 phone call, the witness, who was a male, says that he saw a male hit her. Yeah, a lot of people, the thing is in this situation, I feel like they couldn't tell who was the abuser and who was the in defense. Because obviously you can hit somebody in self-defense and it not be a crime. But it was just kind of hard to tell, I guess, who hit who first. And obviously we kind of know it was not Gabby hitting him first. Let's see. Oh yeah, the song's on there. Your woman is your angel. She'll accuse you, confuse you. It definitely seemed like they had a weird relationship. I mean, their friends said they had a bunch of highs and lows. But what do you guys think? It is really interesting because I do feel like there's so many clues, like, all throughout their social media. Like, let's see if we can go to Gabby Petito Instagram. I think there is one photo on here. So it is really interesting because there was claims that he may be in the Appalachian Mountains, and there was also claims that he was at, obviously the Soto campground, which, see if I can find it. I think I went past it. There is a picture of them there together. So I feel like, where is it? Where is the picture? These are the most recent ones. It was in like February. No, that's California. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, a lot of young couples have high and lows, and they were young. Also, their van was very small. I don't believe even a queen bed fit in there, and they were traveling for about months. They're traveling for months together, and as y'all like know from the pandemic, like, you know, people ended up either getting married or divorced during COVID, or engaged or divorced during COVID. So imagine being stuck that closely with someone. You're either going to get along really well and it bring you closer, or you're going to fight. Yeah, I feel like either he made her lie, like when the police went to pull them over, he was like, lie for me, or she just felt that he had some sort of control over her, that she couldn't lie, or she couldn't tell the truth, I mean. Let's see. Where is the one? Oh, it's up a little. I'm really bad at finding these. Should have been up higher. Higher, higher, higher. What is this one? These are all in Big Sur. Big Sur. February at Pismo Beach. Sarasota. No, that's not her. The one. What was this one? Well, that's the California coast. Was it taken down? Am I missing this completely? There was a picture of them together at the DeSoto campground. Or is this it? No. That's not it. Let me see if I can find it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, people did need to part ways because, and maybe, you know, like maybe she said she was gonna part ways and he just wasn't feeling that, and that made him snap. It's the cases of domestic abuse are really interesting. Ah, okay, it's this one. Where is it? This one. See, look, Fort DeSoto Historical Fort. They were there in February. It's really interesting because there was a, you know, he might be there. And then there are people who said that he's possibly in the Appalachian Mountains. And if you look here, it'll load. Appalachian Trail. Appalachian Trail, get out of the Wi-Fi. Most breakups don't end with thank you cards and flowers, you're right, Tam. But most relationships also don't end with the other one person killing the other one. You know, it doesn't have to end amicably, but it's insane. Let's see, let's go to his. Yeah, see, Josh, like you can break up with someone, you can even have a fight with somebody and not die from it. I just died to watch all of our memories on repeat. That aged well. It was reported on WLFLA. Do you have a Black Corona? Do you have anyone who you think we should talk about right now? I know there was a couple. I know like Jelani Day, but they believe they found him. Found out. I don't believe they found out what happened to him, but they did identify his body. Sadly, he passed away. But it was nice that his case got some more attention in relation to the Gabby Petito case. Oh, the picture where they're behind bars. It was at the historical fort, the DeSoto. I am surprised the pages are still up too, but I'm more surprised Brian's is. I don't think her family would want hers taken down because it is what she wanted to be, like an influencer. No, but read this one. This is 56 weeks ago. Little bodies with blood spraying from their necks. A lot of gore, an axe or chainsaw. You know, he does not sound like somebody I'd want my child to date. Like, he just sounds a little violent. Little violent tendencies. This comment kills me. He was very much into gore and horror and art. Yes, love relationship going downhill fast. Remote area. They have hiking equipment that's, you know, a lot of that is pretty sharp. See, it's mostly he's got kind of this Beetlejuice related art, Harley Quinn, like it's all gore related. Oh, yep. Brian Laundrie, take care of your kids. He was a pretty talented artist. It just does seem to have a darker underlying theme. I'll wake up and it'll all have been a dream, because that's what says every second has felt like, till death do us part, until I wake up. I feel like Kat was right from earlier. It's not improbable that he would commit suicide from this. The interesting thing too that I noticed, Renegade Princess, you can't break up with people today? Yeah. Kind of sad it seems that way, huh? Yeah, there are a lot of domestic violence disputes. It is really sad. You think that when you love somebody, you wouldn't want to hurt them. The picture do say dark magic. I would hope so, Allison. I'm sure they're just not telling us. The one interesting thing, though, is the one video, which was posted right before Gabby was killed, it has this picture, and on her account, this picture is posted on her account as well, and it says it's from their very first date. So if we go back to her account, it'll let me. Gabby Petito. This picture. Picture from our first date 64 weeks ago. But if you go to Gabby, it's like nomadic static, right? Nomadic static. It is one of the pictures that they use on this video. They say it was their first date, but why would you use a video from your first date? We can watch it again on this video that's supposed to be beginning our van life journey. See? August 19th it was posted. She went missing like a week later. Who was funding their trip? I believe that their parents, I know I read somewhere that their parents had sent them for Uber, but that Gabby also worked at a pharmaceutical company for a few months beforehand or like a pharmacy or something, and I believe at a cafe to save up money. Obviously camping and living in a van isn't the same expense-wise as living in a house. Yeah, it's really messed up, Bo. It would be, yeah, if the officers were only women. I don't know, maybe, what do you guys think? Do you think that it could have been prevented, that this could have been prevented by the officers? Let's see, I'll create a poll. Could the officers have prevented this incident in Wyoming from their domestic violence incident? Did he bald at 14? Money-wise? Let's see, are there any pictures of Brian Laundrie? Latest news. Commit camping. Why would you go camping after someone went missing?
Gabby Petito. Petito's family spoke out today as Petito's fiance, Brian Laundrie, is still missing. Fox's Austin Westfall is live in Northport, Florida, where a memorial.
Y'all judging my spelling. I told you it's not good. It's not good when I'm typing. You'll get the point, though.
For Petito has been set up outside of City Hall right there behind you.
That's right. The Petito family did share with us how heartbreaking.
I believe that their parents are probably helping to fund it a little bit. I mean, they were only 22 and 23. A lot of people are supported by family at that time. I know she worked, but obviously working part-time or even for a couple months isn't usually enough to fund, like, buying a home or something.
The situation has been for them. And also, this memorial behind me shows just how heartbroken so many community members here in Northport have been feeling over the past week plus since Gabby's body was found in Wyoming. Many people are still coming out here. They're leaving notes, balloons. They are sending their notes to Gabby. And take a look. They're not the only ones doing it here in Northport. There's also some activity going on outside of the...
I don't think it is a coincidence that they went camping and then he turned up quote-unquote missing. But let's see, Brian Laundrie, is he actually... Oh, did you guys see the TikTok person who... I think one of the funny things about this case is just how many doppelgangers Brian Laundrie has. I think they say that there's at least 7 people who look like you around the world. But this man is not Brian Laundrie. But he looks like him. He definitely looks like him. And it was hilarious because he had to go on a plane and he didn't know how to go through the airport without being questioned if he was Brian Laundrie or not. They both could have made different decisions. Yes, about Joe. What about Joe? Tractor Basil, what about Joe? I mean, obviously Gabby could have made a different decision, but I think it is interesting how you know, from the outside of like a domestic violent relationship, you'd say, why don't you leave? But there's obviously some psychological components as to why people don't leave, because they are so common. Unfortunately so common. Yeah, no, the parents know exactly what they're doing. And I think that it is insane. It's kind of scary almost, because it's not even that they're doing this, but it's how smart they are at doing this. I mean, evading the FBI for 10 days is pretty impressive, regardless. was 1 hour ago. Inside Edition.
It's the latest development in the Gabby Petito case that's prompting questions. How could Brian Laundrie's parents go camping with their son after he came home without his fiancée? And just
honestly, how could you go camping with your son? Just I can't.
Days before Gabby's family reported her missing. Here's Stephen Fabian.
Mystery surrounds Brian Laundrie's Labor Day trip with his parents to this.
It is really interesting because, like, especially in like their video, their relationship, she seems to be the more outgoing one and he's quieter.
This popular campsite off the Florida coast. This photo.
There's so many places there where he could just jump in a boat.
Was taken on September 6th. 4 friends are posing for a vacation photo. Look behind them. Could that be Gabby?
You guys think this is Brian Laundrie? I feel like it is.
Petito's missing fiance. The man who looks like Brian Laundrie is walking alone in the distance. The photos were.
They did go to look at the body, Bo. Where did you read about that? I thought her parents identified the body. I don't know, Josh.
Taken at Fort DeSoto campground, about 75 miles from Laundrie's home in Northport. Police were searching the.
The thing is how did he get to Fort DeSoto? Because they didn't drop him off there. They went camping there. Then they came back and his car was at the Florida Reserve. So how did he get to Fort DeSoto? Did they call him an Uber? Did someone else drop him off? Oh, for sure, Bo. But I want to know, because if it's like, you know, he got like a car share app, like somebody drove him there.
Campground's 5 islands today. Inside Edition has confirmed that Brian and his embattled parents, Chris and Roberta Laundrie, were staying at waterfront camps.
I will give his parents one thing. They definitely keep their mouth shut. They don't say anything. Very loyal, not exactly moral. That kind of rhymes, but very loyal.
Site number 1. The campsite was reserved from September 6th.
The waterfront, and that kind of fits in to his weird Instagram live video where he's in a boat.
8th by Roberta Laundrie, records show. What makes the...
Oh, you know, Bo, there probably was... there wasn't a theory online on TikTok where that the parents came to Wyoming because in that original video that the Bethune family had of finding that van where then Gabby's body was discovered 300 yards away, I believe down the road there was a pickup truck, and inside it kind of, people were speculating that it was Brian's parents to help him hide the body and then help him drive back to Florida because it's a very long drive. And it's honestly like impressive you could drive that far by yourself. Yeah. People do, sometimes they do need a martyr or a villain. He was with them when they checked in, Lane, right? But didn't the parents leave, right? And then they said that Brian went on a walk to the reserve. But the only person who said that was his parents. It wasn't the neighbors. The Moab chief of police resigned. I believe he took FMLA, which is, you know, usually unpaid leave, just kind of to get away from all of the, you know, people making comments about how he could have done better. Chief of the Moab Police. Former Moab Police Chiefs.
And tonight, the former chief of the Moab Police Department is weighing in on the incident between officers Brian and Gabby.
Today, the city announced an investigation into how police handled the incident. News specialist Matt Rascone joins us.
An investigation? Isn't that interesting? Because let's just rewatch that for a second.
Handled the incident. News specialist Matt Rascone joins us live with more. Matt announced an investigation into how police handled the incident.
The police department is weighing in on the incident.
Who's doing the investigation?
Brian and Gabby.
Today, the city announced an investigation.
So the city is doing an investigation on the city. So the Instagram video was debunked, Deborah? The boat video? Yeah, he took FMLA. He did not resign. He took FMLA, which is Family Medical Leave Act. Like federal leave. It's usually unpaid. The rights-man, yeah, pleading, if you plead the fifth, everyone knows you're guilty. They just can't charge you for being guilty. The parents could be arrested for lying to the FBI. They could be arrested for, I believe, obstructing the case. Yeah, it does require an arrest. I can understand what they're saying by the fact that they didn't want to because they are so young. They didn't, because it's on your record forever, even if it says expunged. But obviously, more should have been done because this happened.
Into how police handled the incident. News specialist Matt Rascone joins us live with more. Matt?
Yeah, guys, it's an hour and 17-minute interaction that some have praised, many have criticized. I spoke to Jim Winder. He's the former Moab police chief. Here's how he sees that incident that the city is preparing to investigate.
Let's see what the former police said.
I'm driving, I'm sorry.
The moment on the side of a street in Moab has garnered national attention.
I am separating between you tonight. Okay?
Okay, guys, remember to sub to Alex. This is his channel. Just on right now for a minute.
In that context, the officers did an excellent job from my experience.
Former Moab Police Chief Jim Winder says he's watched every minute.
I think people should keep their powder dry and wait and see.
And from what he can see in the only video available,
Because there's no reason to be crying now, okay?
officers did what they were trained to do.
We have to begin to treat these officers with dignity and respect and allow.
So the former Moab police chief says that he thinks the officers did a good job. What do you guys think? That they did what they were trained to do, even though they did not arrest anybody for the incident? To me, though, it does seem like the officers were not aware of the 911 call. Anyone else feel like that? Because it's never really mentioned. Or I don't believe that they're acting as if they took the call as seriously as they did. Obviously, I was not there.
But here's the reality of this: the lethality assessment protocol is not commonly used in circumstances.
You think? Let's see.
What we refer to in law enforcement is rolling domestics.
Moab City says it's not aware of any breach of department
in
policy.
Florida, the parents can't be charged. I don't know.
But they intend to investigate.
Was their response timely?
It's true. You can't really predict what something would happen, but I believe there have been a couple domestic violence experts weighing in on it, and you can see signs to predict that there's a higher possibility that something violent could occur. I think if someone had been extensively trained on domestic assault and had gone there, then they probably. Maybe they could have seen, obviously you can't know for sure, but maybe they could have seen something that the police officers didn't see. But it is interesting to hear what the former Moab police chief says.
Treat people with respect and good customer service. Was there any indications of bias? Was there?
She does look really, really scared.
Winder left Moab in 2019 and acknowledges some.
I believe she had talked to her mom and said that things were getting worse with him, or that there was problems. Let's see. I thought she had talked to her mom and said that things were getting worse, or that there was issues, or that they were arguing a lot, but I'm not entirely sure, what she told her mom. Phone and travel records.
The Petito investigation, that was around the time they issued a warrant for her fiance's arrest on a charge of debit card fraud. But Brian Laundrie.
Yeah, it is really messed up how he used her money afterwards. I agree, Bo. I think someone probably should be arrested in that case. If there's like an actual report that someone was hitting somebody else, somebody probably should have been at least taken in, like, arrested. But I do understand that they didn't want to put a charge on for people. He did smooth talk the cops. He definitely did. It was, I believe the term's reactive abuse, where he will be the abuser, and then when other people come around, he acts calm where she cries. And it makes her seem quote unquote crazy, but even though he's the one causing it. Her parents could have told her to go on a plane, but remember, we don't know exactly what she told her parents. She probably hid it from her parents too. Most people who are domestically abused don't really tell everybody that they're being abused, and most people who are being abused don't leave right away. If so, like, none of these situations would happen. Yeah, Ronnie was laughing. It was weird. Yeah, I believe in that interaction she had said that he was trying to take the car, or not. She was worried he wasn't going to let her in the car, which it's not even his car. Let's see.
Still hasn't been found, and a lot of people may be wondering what's happening now. Are they still looking for him? What could happen next? Could other charges be coming if they do find him? Fox 13's Kimberly Quizon joins us live once again from North.
Abusive relationships, 9 hours
The
ago.
Gabby Petito case has sparked a conversation about domestic violence and how to spot the signs of toxic.
Yeah, the abuser will act like an angel. It is really interesting. I think that a lot of times we see abuse, or domestic abuse is what we see on TV, where we see like an inside look inside their homes. Obviously, in most cases, you don't see how the abuser treats the abusee, because it's something that happens just between them. Like, they won't abuse them in public most of the time, some cases.
Relationships. Before Petito disappeared, police body camera showed officers talking
unfortunately,
to both
Deborah,
Petito and her
a lot of
fiancé,
abused
Brian Laundrie,
people
after an altercation.
believe that they're at fault. It is kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me of Stockholm Syndrome, like, almost. It's like where you feel like you can't go.
She had with him. And now the police department in Utah, where the couple was pulled over, is preparing for an investigation into how officers handled the situation. For more on this, I want to bring in Dr.
No, Tam, you're right. Like, I believe their friend said that they had an up and down relationship, like very high highs and very low lows. So it was either super great and romantic. Like, obviously from the Instagrams, I mean, a picture doesn't say everything, but his captions from his Instagrams, it makes me believe that he really loved her. And in abuse situations, like, obviously they can love each other, they just don't treat them well.
Daniel Bober, he is a psychiatrist, certified addiction medicine physician, and a former mental health policy fellow in the United States Senate through the American Psychiatric Association. Doctor, thanks so much for joining us. This is a discussion that I've long wanted to have, both Anne-Marie and I, because we just to each other talked about how that one moment where those police officers
I believe what one of her friends, I think Rose, said, that he was kind of controlling and jealous, that he would kind of stop her from doing things, but wouldn't outright, like, tell her no. He would just kind of make it happen the way he wanted it to happen. If, like, she didn't want her to go out, he would just make it happen without directly telling her he didn't want her to go out. Yeah, I agree. If an abuser is, like, obviously, like, slapping their, like, if a man is obviously slapping their wife in public, it's extreme. It's They, I know they had a friend named Rose. We can watch her interview next if you guys want to decipher that one.
Brian Laundrie, that, you know, there needs to be a larger discussion about how police in general, and I don't want to pick on these police officers because they may have done everything.
Just how bad things are. And when we talk about the Petito case, there's this other layer, right? Their relationship, what we think is their relationship, was all over social media. We know that the thing about social media is no one ever shows their bad days. Everyone's having a great life.
Yeah, they would never show abuse
when it comes
online.
to toxic relationships and abusive relationships, when you kind of fold in social media, does it make it even more challenging for outsiders to recognize that there's a problem here? Because the public face of the relationship always looks happy.
Well, absolutely. That's what I call the
you guys want to watch Gabby
Petito's? Everyone
Petito's?
wants to try to put their best foot forward. You know, healthy relationships are based on trust, communication, and mutual
Both of
respect.
their lives are, I mean, hers
and
is ended and his
it's very difficult to know
is
what's going on. I always
over,
say that the only two
essentially.
people
But
that
it was interesting because, remember, from his caption, he had said that if he... I feel like his Instagram is very telling. Because a lot of the captions, he had said something along the lines of, see if I can find his. Something along the lines of, I can't live without you. Limited space. Never loved anyone as much as her. And I believe, what was it? This is like their engagement one. One day I'll wake up and it'll all been a dream. Till death do us part. Aged well. Okay, E! News,
Plus,
Gabby's friend.
Seeing them and everything, they were rocky.
One of Gabby Petito's...
Yeah, it is really interesting. I really want to know more about how, like, when the actual cause of death is reported. I think that will tell a lot. It'll tell, you know, obviously if it's premeditated or if he just snapped and like hit her. Anger and rage does wear off, but I think it comes to like a deeper meaning of controlling emotions. He obviously couldn't control his emotions. Yes, Joey, I think his art is really telling. Like, art is really telling as to like what you're thinking and their psyche, and it is really interesting how he was really into gore and murder, serial killing.
Unfortunately, I'm unable.
So let's see what his friend said.
Is speaking out about the late 22-year-old YouTuber's life. During an episode of 48 Hours, Rose Davis shared her alleged memories of Gabby's relationship with fiancé Brian Laundrie, who authorities are currently trying to locate. Gabby, who was laid to rest on September 26th, found dead earlier this month in Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming after going missing following a cross-country road trip with Brian. Rose told the news program that she met Gabby after the late influencer moved to Florida to be with him. Rose said Gabby asked her one day if she'd like to be friends, and their bond grew while they filmed social media videos together. Rose recalled her initial reaction to Gabby deciding to head out in a van with Brian in July 2021.
I was concerned with them spending that much time together because when I was last seeing them and everything, they were rocky. I feel like Brian never thought that he was going to be enough. And
he did seem kind of jealous and insecure, at least from like what I'm hearing from them, and that her friend had said that
obviously he sees the beauty in Gabby. She's gorgeous.
And when describing Brian's personality, Rose alleged that when he wants something, he's gonna get it. As she went on to describe the time when she claims Brian was allegedly willing to manipulate a situation.
I don't want people to say I'm calling him a full manipulator, but he'll manipulate the situation to get what he wants out of it. And, you know, he didn't want her to go out one night with me, and he stole her ID because you can't get into the bar without your ID. And
see, that sounds a little controlling. I mean, that doesn't sound like he's about to murder her, but it definitely sounds like not exactly a healthy relationship.
you know, this was really upsetting to her. You know, you're engaged. It's not, you know, it's not supposed to be like that.
Rose also offered her reaction to police footage showing officers speaking with Gabby and Brian after responding to a call about reported domestic assault on August 12th. And the footage showed Gabby visibly upset and at times in tears as she described fighting with her fiance.
It takes a lot for her to get that hysterical. And
I believe Rose had also said that their relationship, sometimes they couldn't tell if they were together or not, which is really interesting. Why would you go on a trip with anybody if you weren't like solid with them in that relationship, whether it's romantic or not?
So when I saw the body cam, I knew it was more than just a little argument.
But this isn't the first time someone from Gabby's inner circle has weighed in on her relationship.
Okay, guys, remember, keep subbing to Alex, okay?
Told people that the pair was toxic at times.
Sub and like the video, send him some love.
And very high highs. Gabby's story has
very high
captured the
lows
nation's
and
attention following her
very
family
high
reporting
highs.
her missing on September 11th. Per NBC News, Gabby's own social media accounts, in addition to communications with her family, revealed she and Brian traveled through Utah, Colorado, and Kansas before reaching Wyoming. Brian returned home to Florida on September 1st in the couple's van.
Yeah, it is really sad. It does look like her
10
life
days
was
later,
just
her family officially
beginning. She looked so happy, especially in her video here. She looked ecstatic to be going on an adventure. He kind of just looks like he's tagging along. I wonder though, I know the FBI seized a laptop out of their van, so I wonder what they found. I mean, there's probably more unedited footage of their trip, so I wonder if there was anything that was past these days, because this, you know, was posted the 19th. So I wonder if there was anything from the 25th or the 26th, because I believe, like, from what we've heard, that she was killed the 27th. So it looks so idyllic. Let's see, what do you guys say in the poll here? Do you think that he showed signs of being an abuser? Also, I don't know how they slept in that little tent. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, this is a very small space to be in.
It rained all afternoon yesterday.
She does look like, in this clip right here, she kind of looks like she was just crying. Because if you see in the next clip, her eyes look different.
The tent is just coming in on me. The wind is... Got ready.
You back here?
Bed in the tent. Set up.
Maybe it's possible.
I plan for today is
think it's incredibly messed up how he like spent her money afterwards too. But look, remember, see, here's the inside of the van. This is what it was supposed to have looked like. She kept things very neat and tidy. But could you imagine? Imagine spending 4 to 5 months in just this space with somebody. You don't think they're around the same age, Bo? What's your theory? Does anyone else have any crazy theories on this? Any other, like, anything? It could be even, like, ridiculously out there. Brian, look at this. Brian Laundrie's dad receives Dunkin' Donut. Did this man order DoorDash or Uber Eats? Or are people sending him presents? Boxes and flowers are delivered. Are they being delivered to his home? Grubhub. Well, yeah, I would be ordering Grubhub too. There's people standing out there. I'm really surprised they haven't just moved away at this point. I know some people had been sending flowers to them that was for Gabby, but to do a memorial just to kind of remind the parents about what they did. And it could have been a propped video, but she said that everything had to be kept nice in her van, so I'm not entirely sure. Ooh, a fight breaks out, guys. Breaking news. Let's see this.
You were on my property. You gonna hit a woman? Is that what you're about to do? I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you, motherfucker. You're getting arrested, pal. You ain't no fucking sleuth. You can sit here all you want with your megaphone. I don't care. But you come on my fucking property again, I ain't go on your property. I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. You're going to prison, buddy. Okay? You're going to prison. You're going to prison. Call 911. You're going to prison. Call fucking 911. You're going to prison. This ain't you. You're going. This ain't you on my motherfucking property. You get an assault. Shut up, bitch. No. That's not you right there. Ooh. You're going to prison. Good.
You think the cops stored Ashley?
The whole world's watching you. You just assaulted me on camera. You did. You're going to jail. You just assaulted me on camera. Don't worry about it.
Let's see, what's it say? The neighbor in the red shirt is yelling at the protesters. So, in this current video right here, who do you think's in the right? The neighbor or protester? What do you guys think from this video right here?
You're going to get harassing me on camera. You are going to jail. I'm pressing charges. I don't give a fuck.
Dang, look at all of the people. I mean, I do kind of understand, at least from one point. Like, imagine if you're the neighbor, right? You have nothing to do with it. It's crazy.
Where everyone was watching. You are going to jail. You came over and assaulted me.
So, yeah, who do you guys think were in the right? The neighbor or the protesters here?
You have a violent problem, sir. I'm pressing charges, pal.
But he lives all the way down there, and he's mad about them here?
And that's not gonna stop.
Interesting.
If you want to sit there and support the Laundrie family, shame on you too. Oh, I don't want to. You are going to jail. You assaulted me. You pushed me in front of national media, pal. You pushed me in front of national media, and I am pressing charges for assault. You don't care, huh? Take your bail money.
Let's see. So, yeah, for any of you who said yes and no, do you guys want to explain why you think yes, why you think no? So, the bullhorn people, right, they obviously they're being loud. But, I mean, at least here, I don't see, at least in this video, I don't see them going on his property. He seems to live down the street. But do you think his reaction is justified? Like his reaction of coming over there, do you think that's justified? Oh, this is a video of an alligator. That's a different issue, but that's still Florida. So TMZ says that the man sounds like it's had enough of the protesters on the street. I feel like, though, at this point, the neighbors should just be yelling at the Laundrie family to come out. Yes, the neighbor isn't a problem. I can understand the reaction. No, I can understand being annoyed. I think his reaction was a little too much. Let's see. Florida park surveillance. The latest update is the Dunkin' Donuts, and I feel like they just ran out of things to talk about on there. Yo, does that mean, because we know their address, does that mean that people could literally just send him, like, food? That's wild. Is that what people are doing, or are they ordering it for themselves? Oh, yes, this was the other man who was found. Guys, look at that. Look at dog. Saving the planet. Oh, here's the Shell Island. This is what someone was talking about earlier. Joshua, you turn up your TV and stay out of it? The neighbors did allow the media and protesters, and to be honest, if it was my neighbor, I'd be out there protesting too. Or I'd be telling the Laundrie family to own up to it, to get all the protesters off the street, because, like, you know, the neighbors don't have any part of it. Yeah, it is what happens when your neighbors support their child suspects. Joshua, you're gonna send eggs? I believe he is a person of interest. I think the official term is person of interest, but not a suspect. Yeah, I don't know if I'd eat some food sent by random people after, like, your son just potentially killed somebody. Yeah, dog is, well, you know what? Dog is literally just out there hunting like this. This is kind of funny. He discovered a campsite and a monster deep in the woods. Do you guys think that this campsite and the monster was him from Shell Island? Possible. I don't know. Is Brian Laundrie like monster? Searching the water, too. Do you guys think you'll find him dead or alive? And remember, guys, sub to Alex. Show him some love. This is Alex's channel. Let's see, what else is there? They changed the reservations? Canceled reservations. Made a new reservation for 3 people. September 6th through 8th. Yeah, if you don't hurt anyone, there's really no reason to run. Possible Brian Laundrie sighting in North Carolina. I mean, it's been 10 days. It is possible for him to be basically anywhere now. I don't think he's gone that far, though. Okay, guys. So I'm going to sign off now, but it was great talking to y'all. Remember to sub to Alex J.R. Joseph, like this video, check out his other videos, and he'll be on tomorrow. Okay, bye, everybody.